Hello and welcome to our Gharma Siknu series, Nepali for To Learn at Home. My name is Gamaya and this is my co-host Brian. And today we'll be looking at some of the most iconic stories from the Gurkha history.
Now I know what you're thinking. Who are the Gurkhas? Well, the Gurkhas are soldiers in the British Army, recruited from Nepal, a country in South Asia, and home to the Himalayas.
And right now we're sat on what's called a chautara. This stone structure is found in the foothills of Himalayas in Nepal for the weary travelers to rest at. Gurkhas are known for their elite athleticism and when recruited are expected to rush up and down the mountainside carrying a weighted basket called a doko.
And the Gurkhas are also known for their formidable fighting skills. And the story we're going to tell you today will prove just that. We're going to go all the way back to before the Gurkhas were even in the British Army, to the siege of 1814 in Kalunga, Nepal.
The British East India Company ordered an invasion on Nepal, which led to a war between the two sides. Leading the British was General Rollo Gillespie, his job to capture the hill fort of Kalunga. In his way, Captain Balbhadra Kunwar and 600 Gurkha soldiers manning the fort. The Gurkha soldiers were outnumbered almost 3-1.
Gillespie had completely underestimated his opponents. With their use of kukuris, the Gurkhas' weapon of choice, they resisted attack after attack by the British Army. The Gurkhas, determined to fight, launched themselves over the walls of the British. Gillespie drew his sword to stand on the battlefield to fight alongside his men. They pushed forward again and again to try to take the fort, but the Gurkhas were not to be defeated. Gillespie himself was only 30 meters from the fort when he was struck down and shot dead by a Gurkha. With their leader dead, the British were forced to cease fire. They pulled back so they can get reinforcements, and perhaps bigger guns. It was clear they were not going to force their way past the formidable Gurkhas, so they needed to cook up a new plan.
Kalunga was surrounded. After a month of being trapped, running out of food and water, the remaining Gurkha soldiers decided to take a break for it. 70 out of the original 600 Gurkha soldiers escaped, and the British took over the fort. However, the cost to the British had been heavy. 750 casualties, including their leader, General Gillespie. 2 memorials were placed and can still be seen today, paying tribute to all the casualties from both sides, including General Gillespie and Captain Balbhadra Kunwar.
During the fighting, both sides showed incredible skill and immense courage, and the British had great respect for their Gurkha opponent. And not long after, the British decided to recruit the Gurkhas into their own ranks. And over 200 years later, several hundred Nepalis are still recruited into the Brigade of Gurkhas and have fought in nearly every major conflict, from both world wars to the Falklands conflict.
In the next episode, we'll be looking at one of the first major operations from Gurkha units and see what happens when it's the Gurkhas who are the ones trying to break into the fort. See you then.